Friends, when was the last time you were happy or contented or at peace? You see, the devil knows how well to steal our peace, and he knows how well to play his game, that he makes sure that for us to not have any peace, he must redirect our focus from focusing our eyes on what we already have or what God has done for us, and instead we start focusing on that which we don't have. And so the devil knows very well that the moment we stop being contented, we won't have peace. We'll start worrying, we'll start being here and there and all over, and we'll be scared all along, such that we find we've wasted our lives, we've wasted our years, and we find that time has much gone and there's nothing really to see, or nothing really to look back and be happy about. You see, what the devil does is that he knows that contentment, and as one of the disciples, Paul, said that we should be contented in all situations or all circumstances. Why? Because he knew that the moment we are contented, then we'll have peace, then we'll have joy, then we'll have the happiness that we desire. For example, there's that one job you wanted, and then you got the job, but a few weeks later or even a few days later, like I myself, I usually have that thing that you really wished for some kind of a job or an employment or a job position, and then the moment you get it, you start now looking forward for a big opportunity and all that, and you forget to be happy at the moment. You forget to be happy for what you have now. Look at yourself. I'm sure all of us have had such instances. You wanted this promotion, you needed a house. The moment you get that house and you're able to, you've been, God has provided you the materials, you've bought a land, you've built your own house, and then you start forgetting the joy and the contentment of owning a home, and then start worrying about, oh, there's this couch I saw online, it's so beautiful but it's so expensive. You start now focusing your eyes on what you don't have, instead of focusing on what you have and being thankful for that, while at the same time thanking God, because you know that that which you need and that which you want, He'll provide for you. So the devil is so keen on stealing our joy at the moment. He's so keen at stealing our peace at the moment, such that he takes away that contentment by making us not be thankful and not focus on what we have and be thankful for them. And instead, we start focusing on that which we don't have, and we end up losing our joy and our peace, and we are never happy at any one time. Say, for example, a 25-year-old may should be enjoying their lives, but then they're like, you know what, 25 is a nice year, but then they start wondering, oh gosh, I'm now in the mid-20s, I'm old now, I have all these responsibilities that I need to, or all these goals I need to achieve before I reach 30 and all that. And so instead of enjoying the mid 20s or the early 20s or whatever age one is at, you start now focusing on the next year or the next stage of life. And we end up saying that by the time you're 100 and you look back and you're like, you know what, I never really enjoyed the 20s, I never really enjoyed my teens, I never really enjoyed my 30s, and on and on and on. Why? Because the devil took advantage of not being contented, and he redirected our focus from being happy and being satisfied with what we have, and or what God has provided for us, and instead we started focusing on that which we don't have. And as we're going to read today from the book of Psalms, we see the psalmist saying that now in the book of Psalms 103 from verse 2, it's saying, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits." So the psalmist is telling us today that we should always bless the Lord and never forget any of his benefits. What is that thing that God has done for you? Has he given you a job? Yes. Are you happy? You should be happy for that. You needed to be healed, you needed to lose weight, you needed to start a healthy living or something of that sort. If, for example, you're a parent and one of your children has gone astray, and you've been praying God and the child seems not to change, you start now focusing on the milestones, or the milestones they need to take, or the path they have gone astray, and instead you start focusing on that, on the negativity and all those wrongs that they are doing, instead of focusing on God has kept them, even as they have gone astray and they have been out there without anyone looking after them. God has been there for them. God has protected them, and I trust that that God who has kept them safe is the same God who is going to transform them. Same cases when we have businesses, we trust God to give us the capital, and He gave us. But then we start wondering, now my business is at this place, it's stagnated, I needed to grow. You start now worrying and start refocusing your eyes from what God has done and appreciating it and being thankful for it and trusting God even for bigger and for expansion. And you'll end up losing your peace and your joy and your happiness. So let us change, my friends. Let us not forget what God has done for us. Let us be deliberate by every day, if not this year 2023, if not the whole of this coming month to March 2023, then let us make it a daily habit that every time we wake up in the morning, we say it deliberately and we decide to do it intentionally, that today we are going to focus only on the things that God has done for us, be thankful for them, and be thankful for even what God is going to do for us. Instead of focusing on what we don't have, let us focus on what God has given us and appreciate it and be thankful, because I know that a thankful heart, God loves a thankful heart. There are verses that I've spoken that before, but we are not going to touch on them today. But let us be intentional, my friends. Let us decide every day we wake up. We may not be able to do it like the whole year or decide that 2023 I'm going to change. Let us make it a daily habit, and it's that daily habit that is going to form into a whole year. We find that we have really changed our behaviors. We have changed how we see things and how we behave by deliberately choosing to see and to focus on what God has done for us and being thankful instead of focusing on what we lack and what we wish to have. So that's all, my friends. I hope you get to comment, you get to share with your friends. Let them know that the love that God has for each one of us. Spread hope, spread love at any time you may get. That's all. Do subscribe if you've not yet. That's all, guys.